everybody, my name is Caitlin and today I'm going to show you how to make some restorative props using a towel. Since we all likely can't leave the house right now, I figured it'd be a nice opportunity to show you how you can create some supportive restorative props and bolsters to use in your home practice with things around the house. So today I'm going to show you how to use a towel to make a really great support for some heart openers. So those are those gentle back bends, and for a gentle hip opener. So you want to find a bath-sized towel. You're going to open it out fully and then fold it over end to end just like this. And from here, you're going to just fold it right in half so we have a nice little rectangle. And with the rectangle, put the short end towards you and start to tuck and roll nice and tightly so that you end up with a little tube. You can also do this with a nice blanket, a heavy blanket. You want something with a little bit of firmness to it. So like a soft fleecy blanket might not work as well, but a towel works great. Using this bolster, our little homemade bolster, I'm going to set us up into a little heart opener. And because these are a little smaller than the props you might find at a studio, for example, a bolster such as this, you might want to have a couple pillows or things handy for under your head, just in case you need them. I'm going to use my bolster, but again, pillows work great. Anything that's just going to keep your head in line with the spine. So the first pose I'm going to show you is one of my favorites for stretching out the chest and getting into the throat and heart a little bit. Since we're probably, a lot of us working at home, bending over our computers or hanging out on our cell phones quite a bit, this can be a great posture to bring in at the end of your day, just to kind of release some of that tension, counteracting that forward bending motion with a little bit of heart opening. Now remember, when we do a yoga pose, we never want any sharp shooting pains. You'll feel likely a little stretch, kind of that dull muscular ache, but no sharp shooting pains. So if that happens, make sure you readjust and that you have your props in the right place. So starting with this little towel prop, we're going to lay it lengthwise up the mat. And this one we want our head supported, so you'll place your pillows just at the top of the little blanket. Sitting down in front of your blanket, bend your knees, and you're going to lower yourself down, and you want the bottom of your towel, of your bolster, to come to about mid-back. So you'll lay yourself down on top. You'll notice your shoulders will fall to the sides, and your head will rest on that support. So what you want is the towel coming between the shoulder blades, arms falling to the sides here. You can lightly tilt your tailbone so your low back is lightly pressing into the floor. Relax the arms, have your head supported, and it can feel really nice to keep the knees bent. Some people like to straighten out the legs, and other people like to draw the soles of their feet together, letting the knees drop to the sides, coming into a little reclined cobbler's pose. Every body is going to feel a little bit different, so find the posture that works best for you. So you can stay in that pose for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, however long feels good for you. And it'll just help you release some of that tension through the upper body. I even like to do it if I have a movie on. I'll kind of lay down on the floor and watch my movie from this little pose for a bit. So that's pose number 1 with our little rolled up blanket. Pose number 2, we'll move this guy to the side because we don't necessarily need to support the head for this next pose. And this time we're going to lay our prop widthwise across the mat. So instead of having it up and down, we're going to have it across. Same sort of setup, so we come and we scoot our sit bones back towards the blanket. And then we're going to just lower ourselves down, and you'll notice this time we want the blanket to come to about the base of the shoulder blades. So we're getting a bit more into the thoracic spine. And we'll lower down nice and slow. Arms can come overhead. They can come to the sides. This one can be a little more intense, so maybe they come to the belly. Keeping the knees bent this time. So this time we do want that gentle tilt of the tailbone upwards. Knees stay bent. Arms come to the sides. And if you find your head and neck get a little uncomfortable, feel free to place a pillow under the upper body. And then here we just breathe into the chest. And you can stay, again, 1, 3, 5, 10, 20 minutes, however long feels good for you. So that's our second little heart opening pose, creating some of that space, that counteracting for all that forward folding that we do throughout the day. One last little pose with our homemade bolster is one of my favorites, and it's called a supported bridge pose. And so what this pose is going to do is help stretch out the front of our hips. So when we're sitting down, those muscles tend to contract quite a bit, and they can start feeling a little bit tight if we're working from home all day or spending more of our day sitting than we may normally do. So for this pose, keep your prop in your hand, lay down flat. You're going to walk your heels towards your hips, knees stay bent. From here, press into your feet, lifting the hips. You're going to slide the bolster right underneath your low back. So you want it to come to your sacrum. So it's that flat part at the base of your spine. We want it to be fully supported. So we don't want the whole bum to hang off the support. We want a little bit of the bum supported here. And again, you can keep those knees bent. Hands can come to your belly. You might stretch them overhead. Maybe the longer you're here, you straighten the legs out and invite that deeper stretch into the hips. You might feel it in the belly, maybe down the thighs. Closing the eyes. And just let that support take the weight of your hips, creating a little bit of space. Keeping the jaw soft. And breathe. Again, you can stay as long as you'd like for this one. And to come out, we bend our knees, plant the feet on the floor, press into the feet, lift your hips, slide the bolster out from underneath. I like to lightly press the low back into the mat and then rock my knees side to side. And then you can draw the knees in towards the chest and make little circles here. And so those are 3 little poses you can do with your homemade bolster. I'm going to create a little yin practice later at some point, so watching this first to learn how to make your props is going to be super handy. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you again very soon.